Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Marcella and Friends. This is Marcella D. Moore, also known as Cella D, and it is my delight and pleasure to be with you tonight. I'm going to welcome those of you who join us live, but I'm also going to take some time to welcome those of you who will watch the replay. So I'll say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am so delighted that you are here. This is Marcella and Friends, and we pop in every week or every other week or so. And I bring on some of my amazing super friends who are doing great things in the world. We talk about purpose and we talk about their amazing upcoming events. So as you join in tonight, we say welcome. And I'm excited about the guest that I have tonight. I think tonight is really a very special night simply because it's not only my super friends, but it's my super family. So I'm asking that as you come in, say hello to us. Even if you're watching the replay, come back and type in hashtag replay. I promise you that I will see your comments and I'll respond to you. And so, again, we say welcome to you, and I'm just so excited about tonight. So I hope that you are having a great time. I'm saying hello to our YouTube family. I'm saying hello to our Facebook family, and I'm just so excited that you are here. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to waste any more time. I am going to bring to the stage in the room with me my amazing super friends who I said tonight is a special night because not only are they my super friends, but they are my super family. So joining me on the stage tonight is my wonderful, wonderful nephew, Marquise Moore, and my amazing, I said first cousin, Yakima Deloatch, aka Kima. And so we're here tonight doing what we do. And again, I just want you all, Kima, Marquise, if you haven't taken time to do so, go ahead, share it on your Facebook page. Go ahead and connect your YouTube. Do whatever you need to do. Tag some people, let them know that we are here. But again, the thing that I so love about this is that so many people will get to watch the replay. So we're here, we're excited, and people are on and people are joining us. And so if you're here again, please take time to say hello in you on YouTube. Let us know that you're here. Take time to say hello on Facebook. And we're just excited. And I'm excited about having an amazing conversation with my amazing nephew and my amazing cousin. And, people say, oh, you say amazing all the time. I live in an amazing world, whether it looks like that way or not at times. I speak that to myself. I believe it in my heart. And that's the thing that helps keep me in gratitude and allows me to keep living and walking in purpose the way that I do. Life is challenging. We go through a lot of things. People have ups and downs, and people cry, people laugh, but it's based on how you look at things. It's based on your perspective, is based on your attitude. And one thing for me that I've learned over the years is that it's gratitude that keeps me going. Because if I sit back and constantly say, oh, woe is me, my life is miserable, compare myself to other people, I would be in a place that is not very good. But when I take the time and I said, you know what, I'm happy, I'm grateful to be alive, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head, I'm grateful that I have food to eat. When I get into that place of gratitude, it causes a shift to happen in my life, and then I just start seeing things differently. It doesn't mean that things are not happening, because we're going to always experience things. But when we take time to walk in gratitude, I think it's a game changer for us. So I am going to stop talking tonight. Again, I want to welcome my nephew, Marquise Moore. Many of you may know him as the actor Kesan. And then I'm also welcoming my cousin, Yakima. We also call her Kima. And before we start our conversation tonight, I want them to take a few minutes and just give a brief introduction. And you know what I'm going to say before both of them come? I'm going to say this. Does any good thing come out of New Brunswick? Come on, y'all. Come on, somebody. Okay. Does any good thing come out of New
Exit
Brunswick?
9. Exit
Exit
9.
9, New Jersey Turnpike. You know what? That's what's up. And
in
we
case
are
you didn't
here
know.
tonight. Yes, yes. So I want them to take a moment to give a brief introduction about themselves. And then after they do so, we'll have our conversation. We'll start our conversation. So Markice, go ahead and start us off. And then Keem, as soon as he's done, you can jump right in.
All right, let's do it.
Marquise, you are muted, nephew. You got to take yourself off of mute.
Okay.
There you
What's
go.
up, everybody? I'm Marquise Moore. I'm an actor, entrepreneur, author as well. Um, I've been acting for like almost 20 years now. I'm from New Brunswick, New Jersey, like all of us. And that's my TT. If y'all don't know what TT mean, that's my auntie, but we grew up calling her TT. And that's my cousin right there. She used to make me the best grilled cheese sandwiches in the world. So I love her to life. And this is amazing, this moment right here, to be with family, and discussing what we're about to discuss tonight. I know it's going to inspire some people, motivate some people, and just hopefully spark a fire under some people. So I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely. Yes, cousin. Yes, this is amazing. This is amazing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yakima Deloatch, also known as I Am Yakima, and I am an author. So crazy because we're all authors in here, right? So kudos to us. Kudos to being with family members who are authors. So I am an author, entrepreneur, consultant, travel agent, motivational speaker, and breast cancer warrior. Proud to be here, grateful to be here, grateful to God, and excited to discuss purpose and just our stories and our journeys. At the end of the day, everyone has a story. So if you're not sharing your story, share your story and don't be afraid. That's what I always say. Don't be afraid of the journey and the path that you've taken in life. Don't be afraid to share that with the world, because you do not understand how much you can help someone out and how your story will resonate with just one person even. So excited to be here tonight. Let's get it, cousins. Let's get it.
Yes, yes. So that's so amazing. So before we go ahead, I'm going to ask those of you who are joining again, we say welcome. Please take a moment to like this broadcast, because it'll allow other people to see it. And please tag some other people that you know. If you're on here, my New Brunswick family, you on here, tag some other people from New Brunswick so we can have some great conversation. And please take a moment to share the broadcast. We appreciate it. The shares go a long way. The likes go a long way. And we just believe that you are here tonight, not just because you don't have anything else to do. You're here tonight because I believe that something will be said that will motivate you, encourage you, inspire you. Those of you who follow me, you know me. I go out of my way to make sure that I inspire, I motivate, and I encourage people, because that's who I am and that's what I do. And so for me, all things are empowerment. So please take a moment. And I see you all coming on. Veronica, Ernestine, Kelly, cousin, I see you there. I see so many people that are there. I'm not seeing every single ones, but I'm seeing you. And so I'm so grateful that you're here tonight. So please keep commenting, tag people, and we're going to have an amazing conversation tonight. And so one thing that has been mentioned already that we've talked about, that we are all from New Brunswick, New Jersey. And New Brunswick, New Jersey, an amazing place. And the foundation of us, the three of us, is my grandmother. Her name is Rosa Mae Jetter, and she is 97 years old, and she is still in the land of the living. And so we are so grateful. She came here as a young teenage girl. I want to say, I'm not even going to try to say the year, but my dad would be 81 this year. So maybe almost 80 years ago, 70 years ago, came here to New Brunswick, put her stake in New Brunswick. And because of that, we are all here tonight. And so we come from an amazing lineage. We come from great legacy. And I'm so grateful because for all three of us, we all have different stories. I'm the oldest in the crew. I'm the oldest granddaughter. I'm the oldest auntie on Marquise's side. I'm Kima's oldest cousin on her mother's side. And so my grandmother put a stake in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and we all thrived in that area. Although we do not currently reside in the city from that day, but we have so many stories. We have so many experiences that we experienced from that time. And so what I want to do tonight, again, when we do this broadcast, is always about purpose. We talk about purpose. And so, Markice, I want you to kick it off tonight. Tell me, what is your definition of purpose?
My definition of purpose, what God put you here to do.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say in simple terms, what God put me here to do. That would be
Yeah.
my definition of purpose.
And let me ask you this: for me, I've always known that there was something in me in terms of motivating and encouraging people. It just like in my time, there was no one to articulate that for me. So I got this on the latter end of my life. So just recently, in the last 2 years or so, 10 years or so, I've been really moving in purpose. What stage were you in your life? And what was that moment when you realized that life was not all about all this other stuff, but it's important for you to move in purpose?
You know, the interesting thing is, I discovered purpose because it was planted in me since I was a child. So like you know how you said they plant seeds. I
Mm-hmm.
was told since a little boy who I was. So I didn't really have to discover my purpose, so to speak. Later on in life, you know, we all get lost at some point where we have to rediscover. But I was told who I was as a very young child, and I believed those words. So that came from, you know, the seeds that were planted in me from my grandmother, from my aunts, my uncles. So I always knew that I had a purpose because they always told me. You know what I mean? And those are the people that raised me. So I never once doubted that I was here for a reason because they told me that. I don't know, had those seeds not been planted, whether I would have been able to find my purpose the way I did. But I do know that those seeds were planted in me for as long as I can remember. So I always knew that God had a purpose for me because of the people in my life.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Now, Kima, you want to go ahead and share what your definition of purpose is, and what moment in your life, or what was that time in your life when you realized that you were here for a purpose and purpose was important to you?
Right. So I believe purpose is your why. Why are you here? Right? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? We're all compelled to do certain things, right? We're all we're all led to do certain things. So I know for me, I've always enjoyed connecting people and really motivating and encouraging others, right? I feel like as a child, like Marquis said, we come from a family that was always encouraging. I come from a family of love, right? Gardenia, may she sleep in peace. That was my biological mother. I feel like she always gave me love, right? Not necessarily, oh, you're going to be this or you're going to do this, but surrounded me with love and encouragement, right? So as I grew up and continued along the way, I feel like I was very, very straight and narrow, right? But then I found purpose as I began to come into my late 20s and 30s. Like, you know what? This is actually what I'm supposed to do. You're actually here as a leader and to guide and encourage others and connect individuals. I feel like I'm very good at connecting people, like-minded people. So, and then especially after having gone through a breast cancer journey, you know, a critical illness, not just cancer, really any critical illness, it wakes you up, right? And you really figure out what your purpose is in life or what your why is and why you are here, right? I think that's really it, the why, not the who, not the what, but why. Why is this happening? There's a reason for everything. God doesn't place his strongest soldiers in situations without the why and the reason. It's a reason that you were given this particular obstacle or this war or this guidance even.
Yeah. And it's so important because I think for me, well, no, I know for me, understanding my why gives me endurance.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm overwhelmed with life and when life doesn't turn out the way that I want to, understanding that I'm still here. And because I'm still here and I'm here for a purpose, it gives me that drive not to give up and not want to throw in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when we understand that, and you said something, discover, Markice, when we started. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to find purpose. We come here with purpose. When we come from our mother's womb, and I say it like this, we all come from a woman, whether you have a relationship with your mother or not, regardless of whether it was a one-night stand, or it doesn't matter how you got here. We all came through a woman. And what happens, we come through a woman, we come out, and there is an expectation for a cry, right? If we don't cry, what happens? The doctor spanks us for the cry because that cry is necessary. That is our introduction. The oxygen comes out of us and it comes to the world, and that cry is our introduction to the world. So we come out and we cry, and we that cry equals I am here. And so what happens as we navigate through life and the cares of this world and different things happens in our lives, oftentimes we go away from that cry. And then so when we get in position in places where we feel like it's something missing or I'm empty on the outside or something is going in, it's that cry searching for us. It's that purpose, it's that reason for being, it's that reason for living, searching us out. And so knowing your purpose is mandatory for a happy living, a joyful living, however you want to know it. You want to word it. People tell me all the time. That's what I do in my business. I help people uncover purpose because it's there. We don't have to find it. We all came and it was tattooed all over us. When we came, when we squirrels came through, whether it was a C-section or when you came out, you came through, purpose was tattooed all over you. It was all over you. And so you don't have to, so it's important that you think about the things that you love to do. Think about the things that bring you joy. Think about the things that you're good at. Think about the things when people walk away from you, they like, you know what? Every time I get around you or you say this or I feel this, those are the things that are tangled in or wrapped up in your purpose.
Mm-hmm. And I love the, people don't remember what we said, what we did, but they remember, how we made them feel.
Exactly. Exactly. And so we all, even in our hardest times, even with some of the worst things we've done in our lives, I tell people God has not changed his mind concerning you.
Nope.
God doesn't.
Absolutely not.
We do that to each other, right? We do it to each
Right.
other. We
Right.
kick each other to the curb and we remind each other of all the bad things that we've done. But God doesn't change his mind concerning the purpose that we have. And so
Right.
I think for those of you who may be listening tonight and you feel like you're lost or you feel like you can't find your way, I encourage you to just take a moment and sit down and think about your life and look at where you've been. Look at the things that you've overcome and rediscover and uncover your purpose.
What's that scripture? It just popped in my head. I don't know. Is it Jeremiah 29:11? If I'm right.
For I know, yes,
Woo,
I know
that boy.
the plan.
Woo, it is blood, boy. I didn't know that.
For I know the plans that I have that are bringing you to an expected end. But Markice, let me tell you something about that since you brought that scripture up. Everybody always talks about that one particular scripture. But you know the lead up to that scripture is so verses 1 through 10. That's 29 and 11. The lead up to that scripture was the children of Israel were in captivity. They were captured. The best of them were captured. I think it was the Babylonians. They took them and they took the best of the best. And they took them and made them slaves. Well, what happened while they were captured, some prophets came to them and said, don't worry, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And don't worry about it. God going to get you out of this. Well, Jeremiah came to them and said, God not going to get you out of this. You're going to be here for 70 years. But what God is going to do for you in your captivity, He's telling you to build lands. He's telling you to create families. He's telling you to build in your captivity so that you can find peace, because He knows the plans that He has for you to bring you to an expected end. So nobody ever talks about that. That scripture is a powerful scripture, but it came because of heartache, captivity, being taken away from your family, not making the right, all of this stuff because of disobedience. So it led up to that. So that lets me know that even in my worst moments, even in the things that I go through in the diagnosis, Kima, when you were sitting in that doctor and you found yourself having a similar experience as your mother, as you were going through all of that stuff, God still did not change His plan concerning you. And so it's a powerful thing. We have to understand the power of purpose.
Absolutely.
And you said the word why. Why? In the midst of dark times, in the midst of dark, why am I here? You got to be able to answer that for yourself.
I found, because I've asked God that a lot in anger at times, even because it was just me and Him. Just to give a little bit of my story, I've spent time incarcerated. And during that time, I remember asking why and not hearing anything during that time. But when I was released and certain things started to happen, and I was put in a place where what I went through helped someone else, that's when I got the fuller understanding of the why. I didn't get the answer when I asked for it. I got it years later when I was able to help somebody else. And it was like a light bulb went off, like, oh, that's why. You know what I mean? So God answered me. It's almost like He knows the future. So when we ask and we impatiently want the answer right then and there, as a father now, I get it. It's like me telling my daughter, like, this is why I'm doing this. And she just mad because I put her in the room for a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
And until later, when she gets older and she has her own children, and then she realizes, oh, that's why my father did that. In love. But I thought he was mean to me. You know what I mean? So I find that I get the answers to my whys usually when God is using me to help someone else. You know what I mean? That's when I find it. It was like, oh, that's why. It wasn't for me. It was for the people that were coming after me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And in those moments, that's when I find, like, okay, it builds my resilience. It makes me want to be more purpose driven, because I realize no matter what I go through, He finds a way to use me. Even when I feel like, I'm useless to the world, or, I'm in a bad space, He still finds a way to turn that into something good. And that's amazing to me. Use that word all the time. That's amazing to me. And it's humbling. It's like, wow, even at my worst, you still found a way.
That's right.
Because
he doesn't change His mind concerning us. It's we're either going to get it now or we're going to get it later.
Right.
It's up to us. We know our beginning, we know our ending. It's just that in the meantime. And so it's up to us to make decisions, the best decisions that will cause us to be empowered and different things like that in our lives. But even if we don't, if we take time to just sit and I don't say we lose. I say we either win or we learn. Right. And so you learn, when you go through things and they may not have the best outcome, when you sit and you look like at your life and you assess your life, you understand, then okay, this is the learning thing, the learning process. This is how I learned. This is what I got through this, so that I don't repeat it and I don't do it again. And so I think
we're always learning.
Always
learning.
At 61, I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. And that's what it is. That's the thing. And so, Markice, you talked about being incarcerated. So when it came down to being incarcerated, you said that in the beginning that you kind of like, you were always told what your purpose was, but you end up being incarcerated. Why was that? Knowing what your purpose was, being encouraged all the time, but still ended up in being incarcerated. Why do you think that was the case?
I feel like I was rebelling against what I knew. Like I went through a period in my life where I purposely was making decisions that I knew were outside of my purpose. As crazy as it sounds, I knew what I was doing was outside of my purpose. At least I thought it was.
Right.
So I purposely was putting myself in these situations, almost like the Bible says, don't tempt God. You know what I mean? I was tempting God. Like, if you really God, you'll let me go through this and get away with it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, just little stuff like that. And then when I got incarcerated, I was angry with God. Very angry, because I'm like, how could you do this? You said I was going to be this. You said I was going to be great. And then when I got out and I was able to give my testimony, I was like, okay, that's why I went through that. Because had I not gone to prison, or had I not gone through some of the things I went through, I couldn't relate to certain people that I needed to relate to. I couldn't speak for, people who didn't necessarily have a voice, or that felt like because of what they've done and the bad things they went through, that there's no hope for them. So he made me a voice for the people that felt hopeless because of their own decisions. But like, there is hope still. And I'm living proof that you can make bad decisions. You can hit rock bottom.
Yes.
Everybody can turn their back on you. But as long as you know at the end of that, there's blessings that are still there for you. It's not over. And I think that's why I put myself in those situations, because I always knew at the end of the day, because of what I was taught since a little boy, those affirmations that were given to me, that God was going to find a way to get the glory. So I kept going regardless. And it's a miracle. It's really a miracle how he works. Now I can talk to people who are incarcerated. Had I not been through that, would I be relatable to them? I can talk to people who had illnesses. I can talk to people who've lost people to cancer. Hard times, hard things to go through. But had I not gone through that, I wouldn't be a voice for them. They wouldn't see that there's a light at the end of that, because I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
No, that's good. And so, Kim, I'm going to ask you, being a young lady, living your life, going to school, finishing school, and having to go to the doctor, and to find out that you had the diagnosis that you had. What was that like for you? And what did you do to make sure that it didn't take you out mentally, and that it brought you to this side to allow you to be the person that you are today?
It's so interesting, because even though I grew up in a household with a mother who had cancer, battled cancer, I never like to say someone lost their fight to cancer, because they didn't, right? Earned her wings, fought a good fight. It was always in the back of my mind that, it could happen, but I never deemed myself like, yes, this is going to happen to you, right? So then when it happens, of course, I'm taken back. Like, wait, hold up. I'm only 31. I'm at the peak of my career. My friends and I, we're going on vacation. We're hanging out. We're just doing what, early 30s, late 20s do, right? Mm-hmm. But then to take this, I'm like, okay. I was like, it's game time then. And that's really how I looked at it. I'll honestly say, during the journey, I wanted to live so bad, right? And I thought, why not me, right? Yeah. Why not me? Because of course I have an older sister. I have siblings. I didn't want them to go through it, especially my older sister, giving her condition in life, the choices that she's made and things like that. I didn't want her to have this on top of all of that. So I was like, okay, why not me? I feel like it wasn't until after the journey was over is when I had all my struggles. Because during the fight, everything is set up, right? You got your chemo appointments, your radiation, your surgeries, everything's lined up. Kind of like how I used to have my life scheduled out and organized, right? I know on Tuesday I'm going here, on Wednesday I'm going here. Everything was scheduled out. But after it's done, you're left like, oh, what do I do now?
What now?
What now? Now that all of this is over, how do I immerse myself back into life, right? How do I become normal? Because you're not thinking your new normal. You're just thinking, I want to be normal again.
Right.
So, rude awakening, you'll never be normal again, right? Because you're not the same person that you were pre-diagnosis.
Right.
Okay. You're now experiencing your new normal with everything that you have going on, whether your surgeries, your hair growth, maybe your body looks different. Maybe on the physical, you look different. Mentally, you're different, right? Because you've just faced a critical illness. You've just faced being incarcerated. You're not that person that you were the day before that all happened.
Right.
You are not. So now it's like, where do I go from here? And I knew for me, I had to navigate that, because that's where I saw some of my lower moments. Because it's like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here now? I always say that we teach people how to fight during the journey, but we don't teach people how to fight after the journey is over.
Yeah.
How do we live?
That's so important. That is so important. I had this conversation the other day with someone, because and I said to them, it's just like when someone gets out of, we live in New Jersey, and we know that the workhouse in North Brunswick, and years ago, and I don't know if they still do it like this, they give them a bag, you driving down, you see them walking out of the workhouse, because they just saying to them, okay, here's your bag and you can go, without any direction, without anything. And people getting out of prison. That's why, thank God for all of these reentry programs that are available now. But people get out of prison, and it's like, I've been here where somebody told me how to eat. I've been here where somebody told me to wake up, when to wake up. And now I get back into the world. What's next? And so I get that. And it's like with life, when we lose loved ones, and we've been helping them through their journey and different things, and they're no longer here. Now what's next? And that's always what's next. And because of the unknown, we become fearful. But I think when you get locked into your purpose, whether you know what's next or not, you still have that feeling. I think it's that anchor in you to let you know that, you know what, you may not know it all. You may know not what to do, but at least you know that you're here, and you're going to start, and you're going to keep moving. And so what did you do, Kima, to help yourself in that after, in that next?
I'll be very transparent with you all and with everyone listening. I actually, and this is going to sound so crazy, but so for me, there was some depression there, right? Yep. I channeled my depression, and people always say, well, at least you weren't out drinking and drugging. I'm like, yes, but it was still, I channeled my depression into couponing. And I started this platform, and I started going out couponing late at night. And it honestly brought me joy. But then I was left with all of this stuff in my house, to where I honestly looked like a hoarder. Right. Like my apartment had a small trail that I could walk through the product, right? But it brought me joy, and it helped fuel my depression and helped me take my mind off of it. But I knew I was helping people learn how to save money and things like that. So I fueled it and channeled it through that. But then I called on my friends, and I said, I need an intervention, because I can't keep operating like this. I got to channel this energy somewhere else. And it never fails. Everyone says, but at least you weren't drinking. At least you weren't drugging. And I'm like, but it's still an addiction.
Yes. And that, I mean, for you to recognize that, because a lot of people don't recognize it. And then that's what the conversation I was having with the person before. And it's like, okay, you were living this life was a certain way. And even with you, with the scheduling, with the appointments, everything was laid out. So now you're left to have to execute life without all of this, without all the order. And this is what you created for yourself. But the fact that you were able to acknowledge the fact that it's just another form, right? And now I need to do something so that I will not remain like this. Right. And so that was, and I get it, because you're telling people I need help, or help me, or do something. And they're like, but they're trying to comfort you in a way where you're like, that's not the comfort I need. I realize what you're saying, but I got to get out of this so that I can be free again. Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for your freedom again. You're looking for the freedom that you had. And even though you were in chemo and radiation and all of that stuff, there was a sense of security.
Yes.
It was a safe.
Oh, I say it all the time. My
Yeah.
cancer center was my safe place.
Yep.
And as crazy as that sounds, it really was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my safety zone, you know?
Yeah.
Like I knew I was safe there.
So then
Regardless
you
of
had
what was happening.
to come out again and find another safe space and create a safe space. But I believe that anchor in you of your purpose was the thing that helped led you in the space and place where you are now. Because the thing that I love about the both of you is that I know your stories behind the cameras, behind all of this kind of stuff. I know your stories, but I love the fact that I can look at the both of you today and I can see you doing great things where you are helping people, where you are empowering people, where you're standing up and you're saying that my past does not dictate my future, but what it created blessings and lessons that I can use to not only empower myself today, but empower those who have been assigned to me. Because another part of your purpose is an assignment, right? Because there are people who have been assigned to you for you to be able to speak life to them. And so that's why I love the things that both of you are doing. I love that you are excelling. I love that you have written books. I love that you made a decision not to sit and die, because you could have died. Both of you, both of your stories. You could have, I could be sitting here having a memorial service for the both of you now, just talking about your journey. And that's so many to people who are listening today. Listen, I need you to understand your past does not dictate your future. Your sickness, your disease, your choices, the different things that you have done in your life, they do not dictate your future. And so I think what's important today, I believe that you're here today to hear Kia. I'm sorry, Kia. I'm talking about my niece, Marquise's sister. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Kia.
Okay, Kia.
Kia and Marquise are here. They're sharing their stories. They're talking about purpose. But not only that, you see them on the other side of the breast cancer and the incarceration and all the other different things that are, this is the other side of it, and they made it through, and they're here today. Their life is a testament to let you know that you can make it through as well. And so we hope that as you hear us, as you hear the conversation, as you watch this broadcast, that you are really taking time to listen and understanding that God has no respect of persons. And what he did for me, what he did for Marquise, what he did for Kima, he can do the same thing for you. I don't care what diagnosis you may have gone to the doctor today, and the doctor may have given you bad news. Kima is perfect example that the bad news is not unto death, and you still can live, but you have to make a decision that you want to live. She said it. She said it. You said, Kima, that I made a decision through all of this. I wanted to live.
Yeah.
And because it's
so precious.
Yeah,
and we often say, I just want to say, we often say, oh, we only die once. No, we only live once. No, we die once.
Right.
We live every day. My good sis on here, Veronica, she used to say it all the time. No, you die once. We live
every day. You got that right.
I've never heard that. I like that. I never heard that before.
No, that's real.
We live every day.
That's it. And then the fact is, this is the thing. When we open our eyes in the morning, not when we shave our face or get dressed, put on our makeup, the moment these things right here open up, that's God's validation on our lives. That's us still here. And because I am still here, I always say today, the definition of today is that yesterday didn't kill me.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. Yesterday didn't kill me. Yeah. So I'm still here.
That's true.
Because you're still here, you have an opportunity to get right today with what probably wasn't right yesterday. There is hope. We have hope. You have hope. If you are still here, you have hope. And I'm going to say it again, that God has not changed his mind concerning the purpose he has on your life. As no change. He's not Xing you out or crossing you off the list or kicking you out.
No.
The fact that you are still here, I need you to be clear and be excited about you still here, because there are some great things, and there are so many people who are assigned to you, and they're waiting for you to show up. They're waiting for you to come on the other side of what you're experiencing, because they need to hear your story. Somebody put on here earlier, I saw it, they say, tell your story, share your story. Yes. We got gone are the times when what happens in this house stays in this house. Gone are the times where you keep it to yourself. Gone are the times where men don't cry. Gone all the time. No, all of that. And listen, if you need therapy, you get therapy. If you need therapy, you get therapy.
Right.
If you need counseling, you go to counseling. Get the professional help that you need to help you navigate through life's journey. It's not a sin, or it's not wrong. We back in the day, Black folk don't go to therapy or get counseling. No, we don't do that anymore. We are wise people. We understand that we have to be a part of our own rescue, and we have to raise our hand and do the things that we need to do to get the help that we need. If you have health insurance, you can get therapy and counseling through your health insurance. Go look it up on your thing. Look for a social worker, look for a psychiatrist, look for a therapist, look for a counselor. Talk to somebody who is outside of your network to be able to speak some life to you. You got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Kima, talk about, you got the book that you were a part of. Talk about some of the key points that you put in the book that you believe were an important factor in you growing to the person that you are now. Kima, are you there?
Yep. Absolutely. I'm here.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you froze up a little bit. I said you wrote a book. You were part of a book anthology. Share some of the key points that you put in that book that help you be the person that you are today.
Right. Can you hear me now? Are we good? Is the connection good?
Yeah, you breaking up. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah, you got a delay.
I did hear you.
Did you hear what I just asked you to do about the book? So Markice, I'm gonna switch up to you while she's trying to get it. You have a book that you've written.
Her connection's going in and out a little bit.
Yeah, Kima, you may need to. Yeah, it's your connection, sweetheart. Try to take off of some connections that you have onto the internet. Can you see us now?
I can see you. I can see you and hear you.
Okay, so what I asked you to do is share some of the key points from the book that you wrote that helped you be the person that you are today.
Yeah. So really, are we good? We're good?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's just a delay, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Okay. So really, just that desire to live. I talked about that desire and that willingness to live, and to really just fight through your journey, and really have a desire to want to live after and want to share your story. I constantly said to share your story. For me, it was therapeutic to write my story out. I said, if I'm going to be an author and be a part of this book, we're going to write a book. And we're going to share the story, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Right? So for me, it was really just sharing and really fueling that desire and that passion to want to live and to want to be able to share my mom's story, my story as well.
Awesome. Yeah, you froze up a little bit, but we heard you. That was good. So Markice, the same with you. I know that you have something that you put out that deems you as an author as well. So share some of the key points that you wrote about that helped you become the person you are today.
You know what's interesting? I wrote a book. It's called How I Became a Working Actor and Tips for Beginner Actors. And the book is about techniques and strategies to be a better actor. But one of the things in the book that's profound and speaks to what we're talking about is when you're acting, for those that are actors, you understand, you get these different type of characters that you have to play. And in order for you to be truthful to that performance, you have to develop a sense of empathy for these characters that aren't perfect. So you go through these different roles and you take on these different characters. Some of them may not be necessarily good people to you, but you have to have some sense of empathy to be real and really portray these characters from a real standpoint. So what I learned even from writing my book was that, you know what, if I applied this mentality to life, I'd be a better person, not just a better actor, but a better person. Because when you could look at anybody, even the worst person that you think is the worst type of person, and think, what if I was in their shoes? What if I had to play that role? How can I be honest and truthful and still love that person? Because I got to be him at the end of the day. Nobody looks at their self as the most horrible person. Even if other people might say that you are. You have to live with yourself. Right. So you have to find something about yourself that you love in order to keep going. You might make mistakes. Like we just said, you might backslide. But if you don't find something in yourself that you can hold on to that says, you know what, I'm not that bad, or this is why I am the way that I am, or this is the purpose that God had for me and why I had to go through all of that. That empathy helps you relate to other people. And I think that's what drove my purpose, is playing these different types of characters. I play an autistic person in my movie Mason. Well, my little cousin was autistic. So because I had that relationship with him, had I not had that relationship with him, I couldn't play that role authentically from a standpoint of love. It would just be me, pretending to be something I don't know nothing about. But when you really step into those shoes, or you have a family member that's going through it, or you've gone through it yourself, it puts you in a space to really, really have an open heart for people. You know what I mean? Because nobody's perfect. Yeah. You find something in people that is good no matter what. So I think my book taught me that. Writing my own book taught me you have to be empathetic to people, even if they might seem to be the worst type of person or whatever the case may be. There is still God in them. And you got to let that light shine through. So, yeah, that's what I think my own book taught me. Empathy.
No, that's awesome. That says a lot. So let me say this to you. So you talk about, so you are an artist, you are an actor, entrepreneur, father, son, many other things. And right now this is not the first time doing it, but you have this ongoing thing that you do with teaching.
Yes.
Have acting classes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Again, it's crazy. I didn't plan this, but it really plays into what we're talking about. I teach character development. So in teaching character development, you have this blank canvas, right? You have this character. Your character's name is John Franklin, right? This is your guy. You don't know anything about this person, but what's on that page. So your job is now to create this 3-dimensional world around them. Their backstory, how they feel, how their mother is, and what brought them to who they are. That character development is progressive, meaning it changes based on the scenes. So based on the given circumstances around that character, it changes their behavior, their attitude, and all of that. And that's kind of a model for life, low key. So I really enjoy teaching my acting classes because I show people to make the correlation between real life and these characters, and how every character needs development, even if it's just a one-liner, even if you just got a small, scene in Law and Order and it's one line. Well, that person still has a life. You're just getting a glimpse of that one piece. So I teach actors how to create that backstory, even if it's just one line, because the authenticity comes across on camera. So that one line could turn into, in our world, we call it a series regular. It's happened with me. So you have to really put a lot into the development of these characters, even if it's just for you to be on camera for 5 minutes. And I teach that in my class, how to really go in depth with characters to the point where they come alive. Your character isn't alive until you develop it like a real person.
Awesome. Awesome. And so how often do you have these acting classes that you do?
Almost every day if I'm not filming on set. I record them a lot of times, or people will just book one-on-ones with me. But I have a course out now. So this is a self-service course. So you can sign up for the course and work through the steps. You know, it's 44 hours of content. I think I have six pieces of the course, 44 hours of content. So it takes a while to get through it, but the information is invaluable if you're trying to be an actor, or if you're just somebody that wants to develop character. You know, just tapping into it is really helpful. Yeah. I was even amazed by it when I was finished with it. Like, wow, this is actually good stuff. And it came from my 18 years experience acting.
Which is a part of your purpose.
Right.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. That's good. And so, and Kima, you have both of you have some flyers that I'm going to show. I'll put up afterwards. But talk about, I got real excited when we haven't had the conversation about what you're doing, Kima. I think I saw it on TikTok or something, but I got so excited because the both of you, one thing both of them know, I'm always wanting to know what they're doing. I'm always wanting to see them move in the purpose that I know what God has in them. I know that Kima came through for a reason and that she has so much to offer. So when I saw the flyer and I think you had on the video that was on TikTok, I was like, you better go, girl. I was so excited. So I want you to talk about what you have coming up. Talk about this whole thing. And it's so y'all listen up. Listen to this.
So you know, once again, going back to God, right? God gave me this idea. I struggled with a name at first, but I knew what I wanted to create, right? And I said to myself, there isn't a community of breast cancer survivors, those who have, you know, come through the journey. We're doing fine in life. We've acclimated ourselves back to life, right? And travel. So my love for travel and being a travel advisor and love carving out group trips and creating opulent experiences for people. I said, let's take these two and merge them together. Let's build this new community of women who are survivors, but who also love to travel. Because there isn't a trip that I know of, you know, not to say I know everything and everything that's going on, but I keep my ears to the streets pretty heavy, you know. But there isn't a group trip that includes breast cancer survivors and us visiting places that give us a more opulent or a more elevated experience. So out came the Pink Escape. And our first trip will take place in October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course, and where I'm really trying to bring survivors together. Now, everybody on the trip doesn't have to be a survivor, but the primary traveler does. So the primary traveler has to be a survivor, but she can bring her female caregivers, her female bestie, cousins, family members, whoever, who were there on her journey with her, so that we can all celebrate each other and celebrate being on this other side of life, but celebrate it in opulent experiences, elevated experiences. Why not? We deserve to experience opulence. We deserve luxury. We deserve trips that are, your nicer, more luxe travel trips, you know? So we deserve to give, everyone does, to give yourself this. I think sometimes we gyp ourselves of great experiences and more elevated experiences. So that's what the Pink Escape is. It's an elevated experience, bringing women together to create this new community. Let's travel together. Let's celebrate our journeys in an elevated way. So our first trip is, and this will be an annual trip. So it is to Antigua, October 24th through October 28th. It is 5 days and 4 nights, because I don't understand how you can have a great time without, it being 5 days. We can't do no little 3-day trip. We can, but we're not on this side.
And I love that. And I'm so excited for you. And this is a part of your purpose, and it's like this is so amazing. And I was so excited for you. And I know
Thank you.
that the people who join you on this trip for this adventure, because I believe it's going to be an amazing adventure.
Yes.
That they will not only be inspired, empowered, and motivated, but a form and sense of healing, because everybody is not like where you were. A lot of people came through it, but they are in need of you to help them make it through to the other side. Like we talk about what now, the after, the next. And so I pray that their experience plus the empowerment in you and the purpose that you have meet them in a way where they will walk away and said, you know what, this is it. And so that's what we do. We leave little pieces of ourselves, and then it allows people to be able to heal and grow in whatever they do. And so that's why we need each other. We need each other. We try to walk around and saying, I don't need anybody, I could do it. No, it's a lie. We need each other. And a lot of people are still from the effect of COVID, where we were isolated in so many ways.
Right.
It still has an effect on people, and people are still, when they go through stuff, they pull back rather than raise their hands and say help, and to get the help that they need. So I am so grateful for your yes to your purpose, which is your yes to God. I'm so grateful that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that, I know you're continuing to evolve, you're continuing to grow, and you're continuing to learn new things, because, we have this overall purpose, but there are little pieces of it that make up it, so that we go through different journeys concerning it. So that is so amazing, so amazing. And so, Markice, I saw that someone asked about the ages, and I think you responded to them. They said, "What are the ages for the?" You said 6 to 96. So
6 to 96.
But they can get in touch with you, to get, because I'm sure what you would give to a smaller child, you wouldn't give to an older person in terms of being.
You know what's interesting about that, TT? I love working with the children, because they got a blank canvas. Like, I worked with kids that were like 6, 7, 8 years old. Yeah. And their imaginations makes it funner for me. Because they, when I say, all right, now pretend to be, they're so open-minded. They have no restrictions on pretending to be anything. Right. Unlike some adults, we have to be retaught how to use our imagination.
Yeah.
So that's something I do with character development. I have to break down the adult. You know what I mean? Get them to the point to just to be free. Yeah. You got to break them down back to being like a child. It's like, no, forget all of that. Yeah. All of that stuff doesn't count here. Pretend you are a Pegasus. I need you to pretend to be a horse with wings. Can you do that? They'd be like, no. But you ask a child to do that, and they'll go,
they just start. No,
they're all for it. Yeah.
And that's the magic. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I get excited when I see them do that. I'm just like, wow. Like the Bible says, be ye like little children. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They have the magic. So I love teaching kids. So I'm guessing they were asking because they have younger children. Bring your children.
Yep. You'll get good information. Markice has been doing this for a very long time. He became famous in our family, not for one of the most memorable moments, but what was that? G's to Jet? Something we don't want to announce.
Everybody. The only person who was proud of me was Uncle Chris.
Right. But you evolved, because you've done some amazing things from them. You played in The Walking Dead. Yeah. You played on Tyler Perry's show. You've been in on Law and Order. You have done all of these amazing things, and then you got tons of movies on Tubi. Yeah. What is the name of the movie that you told me to watch? I watched it. I can't remember. And that movie was really good. And that
part 2 coming out.
That was good. That was good. So you can look up Markice on Tubi, Tubi. I think most people know about Tubi now. There are a bunch of movies there. Some may be for you and some may not be for you. He's a very diversified actor. So
Yes.
but you've done some amazing things. You've done stuff with 50 Cents. What were you in with that?
I did The Oath with 50 Cent. I did BMF with 50 Cent.
What was the Chicago one?
Chicago PD. That was Dick Wolf's
yeah.
project, and also Law and Order with Dick Wolf. But you know something interesting? TT and Kima. I keep calling her TT, y'all, so y'all know that's my So the interesting thing is, during all of those, when I look back, during all of those different roles and different times, because it's been almost 19 years now, I didn't understand what was happening then. I was still going through life. Like, there was still issues. I was probably calling you stressed out with dealing with stuff. You know what I mean? Not realizing that I was walking in my purpose. The whole time I thought I was lost. You know what I mean? Like, man, but when I look back 19 years, I'm like, no, you wasn't lost. You was just walking through your purpose. You know what I mean? It's just, it humbles me in a great way when I look back at my resume and my credentials. And it gives me a sense of pride because I just didn't quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, the spirit of perseverance.
Look, you just didn't quit. That's a whole thing right there. I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I didn't stop. Those are so many important things to know and to understand and embrace about our journeys. That is so important.
Wouldn't been able to do it without people, though. Without the love.
No, that's what I'm saying. We need each other.
We do
need each other. We need each other.
Even the strongest person needs someone.
That's right. Yeah. Every now and again, I'll do a thing on Facebook. Y'all need to check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends. The ones that's your always there.
Friend, your strong family member. Yes.
Yeah. The prayer warrior.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, y'all, this has been so good. Like, I so appreciate you all. And I know that I'm going to have you back on here again. Markice, if you have any more projects that are coming up and you want the support of your family and all that stuff, you let me know. The closer it gets, we'll do it again. Talk about your trip overall, and maybe we'll just do the two of us and we can just talk about get more into that in-depth journey. The breast cancer and all of that stuff. And
I have a movie coming out on my birthday, actually. Get Close To.
Okay.
Yeah, July 31st, it drops.
Is that that's on Tubi as well?
On Tubi. And just for people to know, I produce these movies now.
Right.
So no longer just acting in them. I'm behind the scenes, hiring the staff, the crew, the people. Yeah, it's really profound. It's dope.
I loved it through
I'm so proud of you, cousin.
During COVID, right? Clubhouse was huge. And you first when Clubhouse started, you had to be invited. You couldn't. Nobody could. I got my baby on there. I got him on Clubhouse, and Markice took off on Clubhouse.
Sure did.
He took off on Clubhouse.
I forgot about Clubhouse. Is it still around?
It's still around because my girlfriend still has a room there that we do. It's every day, Monday through Friday, the CEO prayer closet. So it's still there. It's in completely different form. If you haven't been on it in a year, you'll be so lost when you get on it. But
I want to share this, not to cut you off, but there's a Black-owned company similar to Clubhouse. Isaac Hayes III, good friend of mine, son of Isaac Hayes, the legend. He owns it. It's called Fanbase. It's fanbase.com. It's also an app. Black-owned, Black-funded. And I think it's important that we were just talking about finding these other social media platforms to make sure we diversify when it comes to these platforms, because they can easily take them away from us. Well, this one belongs to us.
Right. Fanbase.
Fanbase.com. They pay the content creators very well. So just something for all of us, everybody listening, to look into. Go support that brother and us. Isaac Hayes III. He has a site called Fanbase. Okay,
I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah, you'll love it.
All right, so y'all, we did this thing. Hallelujah. We thank you all so much for taking time to join us tonight. I hope that you heard something that encouraged you, empowered you, pushing you forward. I hope that you would consider purpose, that you would think about your purpose, and that you will make time to just know that you are living a purpose-driven life. So before I go, Markice, I want to give you like 60 seconds to say something to the people. As soon as he's done, Kima, you can take 60 seconds and say something, and then we'll wrap this up. Before we go, guys, I'll put their flyers up on the screen. But please take a moment and just leave some parting words, as they say, with the audience tonight.
I just want to say, fall in love with the process, because even if you're going through something, somebody always told me, eventually it will be behind you. That's why you're going through it. If you can go through it, it's going to be behind you. And that's so true. You know, in moments we feel like it'll never end or this will never stop, but that is not true. So you have to speak truth into your life and know that this too shall pass. Mm-hmm. This too shall pass. And let that empower you. And I love y'all. This too shall pass. Whatever it is you're going through, it is not the end.
I'd like to say it's okay to start over. It's okay to start again. It's okay to re-strategize. It's okay to start from the beginning again and to rewrite the plan. It's okay. Make it happen. Make it work for yourself and for you. Make it work for you. But it is okay, no matter how old you are, no matter where you are in life. It is okay to start again. And know that.
I love it. This too shall pass, and it's okay to start again. Listen, sometimes you just need a do-over.
Yeah.
You need a do-over. You need a do-over. Get the do-over done and just make things happen. So, guys, thank you so much. Markice, I pray God's best for you. Kima, I pray God's best for you and all that you do, all that you say. I pray that you will forever keep purpose in the forefront of your mind. I pray that those who have been assigned to you will find you, and you will position yourself in a way where they will find you, and that you will speak the life that God has placed on the inside of you, so that they can thrive and be their best God self in this earth. So you guys are amazing. I thank God for you. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to end this broadcast, but before I go, I want to take a moment. I want to show you their flyers really quick. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to show the flyers and then we'll go. Here's Markice's flyer.
That's that big head guy right there. Well, it's big though. It is.
That's all right. Got a lot of knowledge.
Right.
Big handsome face guy. Here we go.
Kima's flyer.
Let me take a picture.
All right, so that is it. And so we just want to thank you all again. Thank you so much for joining us. And we pray that you heard something tonight that was encouraging. Please take a moment. If you know someone who will benefit from this, go ahead and hit the share button, tag them in it, and let them watch the replay. We appreciate y'all. I thank God for you. I want y'all to be encouraged. And until we meet again, listen, if you have something going on and you are a person of integrity, hit me up. I would love to have a conversation with you about purpose and hear about some of the amazing things that you are doing. Y'all be blessed. Oh, and before I go, those of you, if you're in the area, I am having a prayer breakfast, my annual prayer breakfast this Saturday, 9:00 a.m. at the Jumping Brook Country Club. You can go to my Facebook page. It has all the details on it. It's a great time of good food, great fellowship, powerful prayer, and an amazing vendor marketplace. So I encourage you to join me on this Saturday while we meet for our annual Motivate and Pray prayer breakfast. All right, y'all. I love you. Be blessed. Amazing night. God, stay connected. Get connected, y'all. Love you. Be blessed now.